This guy wants to become really, really rich, but he doesn't know how. But of course, since he's a little boy still going to school, he is told that to become very rich, you have to become an engineer. Now he asks, what does it need to become an engineer? Now he really gets to work. This guy is called Zacharias Maura. Maura is a very young guy, so passionate about becoming rich, but he doesn't know how to go about it. Since he has been told that being an engineer is the only way to become rich, he gets to work. He goes to school. He is told that, to become an engineer, you have to pass physics, you have to pass mathematics, and all the science subjects. And he really gets to work. Maura, though, is a very clever guy. He reads day and night, and while he's still in primary, he starts a barber shop. You know, just like a normal African guy to keep his life moving on. He starts a barber shop, he's going to school and doing the barbershop business as well. He continues succeeding in physics and mathematics until he goes to high school. Now, when he goes to high school, things become a little bit harder, but he does not give up. Remember, he's still having that thought of becoming a very rich guy, and he knows the only way of becoming very rich is becoming an engineer, and the only way to become a good engineer is by studying hard. So, he doesn't give up even when things seem very tough. Zacharias continues going to school and doing his barbershop, though this time he does the barbershop over the weekends. Through the week, he's going to school, and the other days in the weekend, he's doing his barbershop. But now, Zacharias finishes high school and he passes physics and passes mathematics, and he's really very happy. But at this moment, his barbershop is also taking off. He wants to do the barbershop, but he also wants to be an engineer. This is where the story gets really interesting about becoming an engineer. Maura wants to become an engineer, yet he also wants to become a barber. Of course, you can't do these things at the same time. So he has to make a choice. He has admitted at a local university called Chuka University in Kenya. He's admitted though, but I don't know whether it's because he doesn't love engineering again or whatever reason it is, but for whatever reason, he chooses not to go to Chuka University to do architectural engineering. He instead chooses to move on with his barbershop. But now, the idea that he wants to be an engineer doesn't die. He has been very good at physics, he has been very good at mathematics, he has been very good at using all the geometrical instruments in mathematics and physics. He has been using protractors, rulers, dividers, compasses, and all those other instruments as used in mathematics and physics. So he doesn't want to waste all that knowledge because, of course, he did to go for the engineering course. So Mwaura gets a plan. I will use this knowledge in the barber shop instead. I don't know how he wants to use it, but let's look at that later. He chooses to use the idea in geometry and physics in the barber shop. He starts actually using these instruments on top of people's heads. Like one day he drags a customer puts a protractor on his head, measures angles of 360, angles of 90, angles of 60, measures the diameter of the cheek, measures the distance between the eye and the ear, puts centimeters. I mean, he's a crazy guy. He's so crazy about the fact that he wants to look like an engineer, even though he did to go to the engineering school. In fact, he doesn't stop there. He wears a helmet inside the barber shop. He even wears an overall. I mean, who wears an overall in a barber shop? I mean, who wears a helmet inside the barber shop? You know, I don't imagine that you're scared of debris falling on top of a building and falling on your head, or a hammer falling from someone's hand in the seventh floor and falling on your head. I don't think that you're scared of that. But this guy goes on and buys a helmet and an overall and a reflector jacket and puts them on even when he's inside his own barber shop. And you know, people think he's a crazy guy, and some don't take him serious, though others do. Now, his clientele keeps on increasing, because normal barbers, according to him, just use estimates and guesswork. For him, he says he would rather measure the distance between your ear and the nose, the diameter of your forehead, the angles of reflection, the angles of refraction, and all those other things, so that he can get a better angle when working on your hairline. I think it's a good idea, though not everyone picks it up until in 2017. Now, in 2017, he moves to Meru town. It is, of course, one of the big towns in Kenya. He goes on doing his geometric work. Putting on protractors and the rulers on people's heads and all things, funny things like that. Now it is 2022. Now, when we reach 2022, he decides to start posting his work on social media. And at this time, he has created a TikTok account for himself, an Instagram account, a Facebook account. He even opens a YouTube channel and gives himself a name, the Geometric Barber. I mean, everyone would be surprised to see such a name. Yes, he calls himself a geometric barber. And he is, of course, not an ordinary barber, because for him, he uses geometrical instruments to shave people's heads. Like, it's not surprising that he calls himself a geometric barber. So, when he opens his TikTok and Instagram account and all the other social media platforms, he starts posting his work on those platforms and people get interested. He even gets an opportunity of traveling to South Africa, to Nigeria, to very many other countries, because, I mean, rich people would want to experience those things of a protractor, a compass, I mean, rulers on top of their heads. So they get interested, and he visits those countries and does his work from there. Actually, he even goes on and says he is better off than an actual engineer, because he uses geometric equipment, rulers, protractors, dividers, and very many other things. For him, he charges between 3,000 and 5,000 Kenyan shillings for a haircut. I mean, who does that? That is around between $24 and $34. I mean, who does a haircut for that big amount. People do haircuts for less than $10, but for him, he says, for me, I'm a geometric barber. I'm not just an ordinary barber. It is a very it's a very interesting story. Kenyans are very funny people. I mean, that's it about the the geometric barber.